Hi, it's Imogen Lamport from Inside Out Style coming to answer your colour and style questions. First question comes from Katrina. I'm struggling with grey shoes. How does one approach the various shades? I've got brown grey, blue grey, green grey. I can't seem to find tights that aren't what I would call true grey, and nothing seems to harmonise with my grey skirts or jeans. Am I being too picky about coordinating? What are some guidelines for dressing with different greys so I don't look like dressed in the dark? Now, grey is quite a tricky colour. Just grabbing my colour wheel that's fallen on the floor. And this is because when we are looking at greys, what we're actually doing is to get a grey, it's not just black and white. We know we can make a grey, so you might call true grey just black and white mixed together in various quantities. But really, what most of our grey clothes are colours, the entire colour wheel of colours with grey added to them. And then what happens is you'll get the green grey, the yellow grey, the orange grey, the red grey, the pink grey, the purple grey, the blue grey, the violet grey, you name it, you'll get a version of grey. And so what that means is, just like with any other colour, they are particularly hard to mix and match because you're not just mixing grey, you're actually mixing colours together. So if you remember that when you are thinking about mixing grey, you're not mixing grey, you're mixing colours. You're trying to find like colours that go together, so like greys. So blue greys can mix more easily with other blue greys, purple greys with purple greys, and green greys with green greys. So if I just show you a few samples of some greys, and this is just a very few samples, we can have, lighter greys, we can have darker greys, we can have cooler greys. So there's a blue grey, this is a purple grey, this is a green grey, this is actually a green grey too, just a darker version. So we've got warm ones, cool ones, that's a really deep blue grey, that's a darker purple grey. So many different greys that you can look at, and this is why it's very, very hard. So rather than mixing greys with other greys, mix greys with colours. This is much easier. So rather than thinking I need to mix grey with grey with grey, if you've got some grey shoes, I'd actually be looking for maybe something more neutral in your as far as not grey in your tights. You might find, sometimes you can find the same sort of undertone. So if your shoes are a green grey, then finding a greenish grey tight, but otherwise, I'd be probably almost looking at a nude tight or something like that. Something that's not going to draw attention to the colour of the grey, because grey is actually kind of a colour. It's just a really greyed down version of a rainbow colour. So this is where, so think about mixing your blue greys with blue greys, your green greys with green greys. You will find it much easier. And mixing greys with colours rather than just thinking I'm going to have a whole grey outfit. So this is where too, if your palette and your kind of undertone, you'll tend to find that if you're cool, then going with cool greys means there is some chance those greys will work together, versus if you're warm, you'll find the warm greys work better together. But if you've got everything in your wardrobe, it will look a bit like you've got dressed in the dark. So that is why grey is actually one of the hardest colours to mix with each other, because there's so many variations. It's probably the most varied because it is the entire colour wheel of colour in grey. So you've got every undertone and every colour as possibilities, and they just don't all go together. So that's why you have so much trouble. So I always say that if you want to mix a grey, you're trying to find something that goes with something that is grey, like another grey, I would be taking that grey thing shopping with me to ensure that you are finding something with a similar undertone. But this is why, do limit yourself to whatever is your undertone. If you're warm, the kind of greeny and yellow and brown greys. If you're cool, go for more the blue and violet greys and just that kind of more plain black and white mix as well. Hopefully that helps you, but I know not much of a solution apart from admitting that maybe those things don't go together. Just like when we're trying to mix colours together, mixing greys together is just as tricky, and they're not all designed to go together.